This is the review of assignment 8 on the WinForms path. So the assignment was to create a couple of new forms and put a menu strip on one of them. So here's the project. The first new form we created was form service notes. And we can see that form here. It's got its menu. You see the gray background indicating that this is an MDI form. So its is MDI container property is set to true, and then its various menus. And because we used insert standard menu items, this menu strip was built by Visual Studio, so it includes the standard access keys and shortcut keys automatically. Let's take a look at their event procedures. So new creates a new instance of the note form and sets its MDI parent to the current form and then does a show. And we've got a small routine here to make sure that the save menu item is only active when we actually have a window that we could save. Open will also create a new instance of the form and set the MDI parent, and then use open file dialog to allow the human user to pick a file. We will then read that file in using a stream reader and assign the note text of the form to the contents of that file and then show the file. Save does the same thing in reverse. So here again we're making sure that save is active when it should be, and then we create the instance of the save dialog class and do a show dialog on it, and then we'll make sure that we actually have an active child to save, and we will use that stream writer to write that file as text. Note the use of the as keyword here, casting the active MDI child as a note form so that we can use the note text property. And then we close the file. The small private method enable menu item save if note exists simply checks to see if we have an active MDI child. And if we do, then we enable it and we return that result. Exit just closes the form, and the optional regular expression code will look through all of the MDI children in the service notes collection and collect all of their note text, separating each one with a new line, and then apply a regular expression as given in this for each loop to all of that text, looking for things that look like file names, and we'll add those to a result string. Now, by the way, if we had talked about string builder in the lesson, I probably would have used string builder here as it would have been more efficient, but we didn't talk about string builder, so I just used a regular string. Once you've got that result, then you use messagebox.show to display the results of applying that regular expression to that text. The other form to create was note form, and it is simply a form that has a text box docked to the entire client area of the form, and we can see that if we look at the properties of this text box. Its multi-line is set to true, and its dock property is set to fill. For the code behind, we have added an internal string property called note text, which simply allows access from the outside to the text property of the text box that's inside of this form. You could have also used the controls collection to get access to this information in your service note form. Now, back in our original vending machine form, if we go to the Service tab, we have added a View Service Notes button, which brings up the Service Notes form, and to do that we simply create an instance of the form and then do a show. And you put that all together and we run it, and we go to the Service tab, enter the password, and we can click on the View Service Notes button, which will bring up the form and allow us to create new note forms. And that's the review of assignment 8 on the WinForms path.